back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to give you another anime review. This time around, we're going to be talking about the Misfits of the Demon King Academy Season 2.
体の調子は
大丈夫ですよ。それにレイさんのピンチにそんなことは言ってられません。
君は僕の剣だ。君が僕を見ている限り、君と一緒に戦う限り、決して負けはしない。信じてくれるかい？
はい。
なかなか面白い知恵比べだ。矛盾を解く鍵は遊戯の中にないのだからな。お前は自らに偽りの記憶を植え付けた。俺が探していたのは存在しない回答。
気づかれたか。だがもう遅い。知恵比べに乗った時点であなたは負けていたのだ。ゼクトによりあなたは俺の魔法障壁も攻撃できない。だが勝負を破棄すれば魔力が5秒間封じられる。
So, we're back at it again with Season 2 of the Misfits of the Demon King Academy. I really enjoyed Season 1, and I was very interested to see what they would continue on with Season 2. But boy, did Season 2 have a production hell mishap that kind of split, like, the season. Due to COVID reasons, they split the season in two, giving us the first like couple episodes, and then like almost half a year later giving us the second and even almost a third season. You know, it was a weird, definitely a weird way to like present all this, because you could tell there was like a third season there, because we got 24 episodes for season 2, which I'm not complaining, but definitely you could see the split right after the 12th episode of season 2. Like, okay, here's the next arc, you know. And like I mentioned earlier, I am not complaining on having more of it, but yeah, but you know, I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it came back to what it was, you know, bringing back Anos and the crew with all their shenanigans and ridiculousness. So if this is your first time listening to my thoughts on this one, this is season 2. So just to kind of give a brief, like, even if you haven't seen it well, basically after like reincarnating back from 2,000 years, our main character Anos Voldegod come back, and you know, he's trying to live his life, but then history's changed, all that shenanigans. So he's just this very overpowered king, used to be king, trying to kind of reclaim his things. And the storyline this time around was introducing more or less some of his other subordinates, and continuing with more like world building, lore building. And then I'm gonna say the pseudo season 3 came out with more of the external gods and stuff like that, so giving us more lore and stuff like that. And definitely it's a lot to take in. And I would personally take it in as if it was 2 seasons in one, because it feels like that. You get Anos once again trying to fight a fake demon lord again, with his friends, and that whole story plot with one of his former subordinates and everything. And I like it. It's good storytelling in a sense, and what I like about this series is Anos' overall character. I like the way they're portraying him. He's very straightforward. He's very like to the point. He does not hold anything back, like physically, magically, or even in his words. He's very like to your face. I like that. And he's very poignant, and I like that. And I love his parents, because they always mention, because he's only been around a couple months, he's relatively still young in that sense. And I love when they make those jokes, because of the ridiculousness of it, you know. But some introductions to a couple new characters here and there. Not really much. As long as you're following the standard crew and his pseudo harem, you're pretty much set on everyone. Everyone pretty much did not evolve in as far as character development. They are still themselves from like season 1, just a little bit added. Nothing significant that I've truly noticed as far as like character developments from them. I think Anos gets more or less more like plot development instead of character development, just knowing stuff. He's still himself, I feel. The story itself, we'll stick with like quote the part 1 season of it, is like I think my favorite storyline, while the second part of the pseudo season 3 is more like fun lore stuff. The storyline in the second part of the god stuff is pretty iffy. It adds a lot. I like the lore they're developing in that world, but the storyline is kind of it's hit or miss. I'll be honest, it's hit or miss comparatively to the story they were laying out in part 1 of season 2 with the fake demon lord and all that stuff. I truly enjoyed that a little bit more as far as the storyline. But once again, like even though there was some production hell, the art style, the animations, woo, they kept it. It's still clean, crisp, good, always fun to watch. I loved it. You know, there was no real hiccups there. But definitely with it being like this chunky season and the way it ended, it leaves me hesitant. And from what I've been reading, I don't know if we'll be getting a true season 3. I hope so, because the way they left it with a cliffhanger and the way they introduced a few characters at the end, like, what are you planning and how are you going to conclude it? Because for the most part, it's nothing less than an enjoyable show. It is fun. I personally enjoyed the characters and the way they're doing the storytelling and the world building to this place. It's not everyone's cup of tea, you know, but it's fun. And that's what I enjoy about this type of show. And it doesn't take itself serious, you know. It may seem that way, but it doesn't. And that's what's fun about this type of show. And I hope they conclude it in a way that would be enjoyable, even if it's a little campy ending, you know, because it has some campiness, some silliness, you know. It doesn't shy away from that, but it has like some strong moments, and that kind of mix in with it, that makes it like fair, you know. It's like there's some silliness, some strong points, some heartwarming points. It's a little of everything. It just blends reasonably well. It's definitely, some storylines are a little bit iffier compared to others. Some are really good storylines. Some are like left hanging a bit, I'll be honest. But depending on how this ends, and I'll wait and see if there's going to be a true season 3. It can be a reasonable like anime, like complete, you know. It can be a true complete anime experience. If not, there's definitely some holes in general, you know. But I'm hoping that they end it, because so far for season 2, it's fun. It's more or less the same from season 1, just more characters, more plot, and more ingenuity. So I'm hoping they conclude it in some way, because if not, it just leaves you hanging there, and I hope it doesn't do that, you know. But it's fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So let me know down in the comments if you're if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify. If you're listening to this on any other podcast platform, let me know on social media. So yeah, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya. See ya. See ya. See ya.